Sometimes a narcissist will choose not to acknowledge the child or reject a child, which leaves us in a question of knowing exactly how they feel about the child. Or sometimes they fight with you about custody, do custody battle with you. They'll have you questioning how much love they have for the child. Hi guys, welcome to Covert Narcissist 101. I'm Kate. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Don't forget to hit the bell so you know when I upload more videos. Do the narcissists love the children? No. They do, however, love the idea of the children. They love the idea of what a child brings, and a child is innocent, a child is doting, a child will love you, they don't know. They need the child just like they need everybody else for supply. They like or they love the idea of a child. That's as much as where it stops. Now, they're not going to wish ill on the child. They might not wish ill on the child, they're not going to have maybe a narcissist with young children will leave maybe a hole in the ground or somewhere in the yard or whatever. They're not going to have they're not going to wish for the kids to fall in there. However, they're not going to look beyond themselves to prevent that from happening. So they will not wish them ill, but they will not make sure or put things in place to make sure that they do not get into any harm. So they might not close the big hole in the yard so that the kids won't fall into it. They're not wishing for them to fall into it, but they're not going to, take the necessary precaution to make sure that the hole is covered so the kids don't fall into it. That is where a loving parent comes in, because a loving parent is always 10 steps ahead of the child. They are looking beyond themselves to make sure to prevent any harm coming to the child's way. But that's not the case with the narcissist. So no, they do not love the children because they cannot separate, look beyond themselves to do what a loving person does. But they can say it all day because that's what they feel they're expected to say. But however, as you see, when it comes to them acting like a loving parent, you will find them most of the time lacking. When they come to the action of it, they lack. Like I said, they don't wish their kids ill. They probably do not wish them any harm, but they can't make sure or to ensure that harm doesn't come their way. That is not how their brain works. They don't have what it takes to look beyond themselves, to think outside of themselves, to look at anybody else. So unfortunately, some narcissistic mothers, end up having children back to back. Why? Because sometimes when the kids grow out of the stage of where they, they're needing the parent, they're needing the mother, looking up to them, or they're being independent, if you will, and you see they need the replacement. It's crazy, But yeah, the narcissist only loves the idea of the child. He loves the idea of the child because that is the supply. The idea of the child, the presence of the child means there's a supply. It means a potential supply. Of course, that's about it. There's no love, in the actual sense of it. That's why when, you see them doing things because of you, they're targeting you, they don't see the child, because that really they do not. They do not see the child. So when things come, you see the action will not reflect what they're saying. So when it comes to whatever it is they need to do for the child, they do not see the child. The target is you, because that's where, when you love a child, you do things in the best interest of the child. We keep saying that, but that never happens, because only loving parents puts the child interest first. So no, the narcissist does not love the kids. They're not capable of loving anybody else but themselves, even if they know what that means to love themselves. But they can't look beyond themselves to love anybody else. But however, they love the idea of having children, because children are just a source of supply. Take care.